Starting the stream. The stream has been started. We've got one person here waiting. Is that you, Lewis? Are you waiting for us to begin?
I'm always waiting for myself to arrive.
Okay. I think we're live. It's alive.
I think we're alive now.
There doesn't seem to be any Caney around. I think he is high now. He's probably drooling on the ground. Oh my gosh, what happened? Oh, that's the wrong button. There we go. That's what happened. It's me being a loser. Hey everyone. Hello. Let me tweet this out. Lewis is just complaining about his Mac, about how slow it is, and I was trying to walk him through how to check his dick's.
Whoa.
See, what you need here, Lewis, is one of these guys right here. And then you just go like this. Hold it down. This one doesn't even work for me. You can have this one. This one doesn't have enough tape for me.
Is it 12 centimeter?
Yeah, it might be 12 centimeters. I mean, it measures my car, but, not enough tape for the other things that I need. All right, let's go live. Oh, we are live, right?
Got 29.
Hello, Eureka.
Space.
Tech.
29 gigs of available.
Malalam.
That's not
Did I
bad.
say that right? Okay. Well, we got lots of Apple news to talk about here, guys. We're just waiting for people to pile in. Hey, if you have anything that you want us to talk about, have any questions, we can do a little AMA. No one ever has questions. I feel like when you ask people to ask you questions, no one has questions for you or for us. They're just like, shut up, dude. I don't want to tell you what content to make. I just want you to entertain me and make me that balloon animal that I told you about, and then that's it. Does that make any sense? Not really.
What?
It was a reference from Wedding Crashers when Vince Vaughn is at the wedding, and that kid's like, I want he asked him to make this really elaborate balloon thing, and Vince Vaughn's like, I don't think I know how to make it. And the kid goes, shut up, clown, and make me the balloon thing. He's like, and then he's surprised. He's like, geez, you don't have to be so upset. He's like, shut up and make it.
Jeez.
Louis Loop. Oh, I like this. Luis Lupiak. Thank you. Lewis says, I love your videos. And, oh my gosh, Graham Critcher's here. Graham! My old buddy Graham is here. He says, I have a question. Do you still have your Them Beatles t-shirt I sent you? Dude, I never got that t-shirt. Did you send me a t-shirt? I did not ever get it. I wonder what happened to it. Where's the Englishman? Oh, well, he you didn't catch the beginning of the show.
I think you should probably do the entire podcast in your best British accent.
Man, if my British accent weren't so bad, I might try to do that. I just can't. I've got a freaking A+ Kermit the Frog. Hey everybody, it's me, Kermit the Frog. But British can't do it. I think I'm alone now. There doesn't seem to be anyone around. How's that?
Pretty green.
It's pretty good. Thank you. Okay, I did. You and Roberto wore it on your podcast. Dude, I have no idea what happened to that t-shirt. I'm going to have to look for it. I didn't get rid of it if I had it. Shout out to McLean. Chase McLean, that is. And Stephen Bird, hello from Sydney. Oh, man. Sydney, I've always wanted to go to Australia. God, I'm sorry. Did my camera focus on the background here? I apologize for that.
You sure not talking about Sydney, Ohio? It's a little simpler.
Yeah. Steve Bird, where are you from? Is it Ohio? Why would someone say they're from Ohio?
It's a badge of honor.
To be from Sydney, Ohio. Normally when you say Sydney, Lewis, it's you know that you're talking about Australia. That's a common way to refer to Australia.
All right, okay.
Alrighty, guys. Well, Sydney, Australia. See, he's from Australia. God, can I come stay with you, Sydney? I've always wanted to go. Always. I kind of want to move there, honestly. Did you know that, Lewis, did you know that Sydney has one of the largest population of camels on the earth?
What?
Yeah.
No, I did not know that,
Yeah.
and I'm not even sure it's true.
It is true, because the interior of the country and the continent is just desert. So they have tons and tons and tons of camels there.
So, if he's from Sydney, I wonder if he knows Simon Whitlock.
Of course. Everyone from Australia knows every other person. Hey, Steven, what's the population of Australia? Hold on, I don't need to ask you. Hey, Siri, what's the population of Australia?
As of 2020, the population of Australia was 25,671,000.
So slightly smaller than the state of Texas. 4 million less than Texas. That's crazy.
50% less angry.
Than Texas?
Yeah.
What do you mean? Texas is an angry place.
There's some angry people in Texas.
I don't know about that. I
I guess it's probably Australia. It's got a little bit of a reputation for being a little bit hard-nosed too, doesn't it? Never been there. Love to go.
Donkey Kong is from Sweden, Australia. Sorry, Xavier's here. Last show I called you Javier, didn't I? I apologize for that. Just us two. So Leander is in he's in Arizona, right?
Yes, Arizona.
On vacation in Arizona.
Bicycling around.
In 120-degree heat. He's probably
I
dying.
heard it was 70 and sunny is what I heard.
70 and sunny. Hey Siri, what's the temperature in Phoenix, Arizona?
It's currently 66 degrees in Phoenix, Arizona.
That's it? It's almost 66 degrees here in Seattle. Well, that's 50. All right, guys.
Here.
We've have enough people
Exhausted
here.
the banter.
We've exhausted all the banter. I'm sorry, it keeps focusing on the background here. I gotta turn this around like this so it gives you guys. I don't even want you guys to see what's behind
The pile
me.
just keeps getting bigger.
I know, dude.
Look at that. It
I know,
looks
it's 'cause
like,
it's always darkest before the
post-Christmas nightmare.
dawn,
What's going on?
Lewis. It's always darkest before the dawn. Okay, so I'm making progress on it, but I'm getting things out of boxes now. So it's like now it's just all over the place, you know.
Man, oh man.
But I really want to make some videos like for my YouTube channel, which has sadly been completely neglected by me for like the last 4 or 5 weeks. But I'm like, dude, I can't make any videos until I clear out all of this crap because I can't make a video with all this crap behind me, and I've got nowhere else to put it.
Go green screen, man. I mean, you're
Yeah,
part
I can't do that.
Anyway.
I can't do that. And actually, sometimes I do green screen, but I can't do green screen for product reviews. I can only do those for videos that I make about news items, where I do you know, my big old mic top that you've seen, the legendary mic top. All right. Oh man, Xavier's saying WandaVision finale. I think it's tomorrow, dude. WandaVision is such a good show. It is a work of art. The amount of ingenuity and imagination that goes into that show, I think that show is sorely underappreciated because people expect it to be the weird zany show that it starts off as, and they see it and they're like, "What is this? This is totally strange," which is true, but that's just the setup. They're setting you up for the rest of what's going to happen. And if you grew up watching 80s, 90s, aughts sitcoms, they do such a good job recreating the feeling of the shows from those eras and building those into every single episode with the music and the set design and the hair design and the clothing and everything. The amount of work that went into every one of those episodes just to bring you a recreation of the series from those eras is truly mind-boggling. And somebody on Twitter was saying, I would love to be in a pitch meeting where they were talking about what WandaVision is going to be, because the show has one of the strangest premises I've ever seen, but they pull it off so well. And the two main actors, I think the guy's name is Paul Bettany. Paul Bettany. He's a British guy. Does that make sense? Okay. Phenomenal. And then Elizabeth Olsen. Who saw her coming, dude? If you look at her IMDb, so Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen, her sisters from Full House, right? They were the child stars that everyone knew. And then they disappeared. I don't think they do acting anymore. And then Elizabeth Olsen appears from the ashes, and she could have just, well, I think a lot of people probably think that she's just riding off her name recognition, and I think in a way she kind of was at the start. She, if you look at her IMDb, she landed big stuff right away, and she progressed through her career really fast. But phenomenal actress, very, very, very talented. She did a great job, and she's doing a great job in that show, and also in the Avengers movies. Okay, I digress. We're not even talking about Apple stuff at all yet. I think we should go ahead.
Really?
We should get the music going here, Lewis.
Yeah?
And let's get this show rolling because we got a lot of stuff to talk about. I think we're good to go. Let me hit up old Mrs. D. Oh, Mrs. D, are you ready? Yes, I am. Are you ready to go, Mrs. D? Oh, I am. I'm going to speak extra loud so Lewis can hear. Well, he really loves it when you scream into the mic. Oh! I just have made you a beautiful lemon meringue pie, but I guess I'll stop to do the intro. Well, you are so nice, Mrs. D. Let's get this thing going because we're losing audience members. We have to get the show rolling. Hungry. Oh, man. I would kill a man for lemon meringue pie. You, Lewis. If someone was like, if you kill Lewis, I'll give you a lemon meringue pie.
Wow.
I wouldn't kill you, but I'd choke you out enough so that it looked like you were dead, and I'd get the pie. I'd share it with you after you woke up. Okay.
Might be worth it. I might be willing to accept that.
Depends who made it. Okay, here we go. Hello, and welcome to CultCast, the best 30-plus minute Apple conversation you're going to hear all week long. I'm your host, AirTags Elijah. Where's the button? Here we go. Join me this week with Leander out of town. I'm hearing he's been walking around in a spandex unitard, napping at his desk and taking rips off the Puffco Plus set to sesh mode. I also heard he took the Cultimac Lamborghini Countach company car out for a spin. He's the managing editor of Cultimac. Lewis Wallace is here.
I did not Tiger Woods the car.
Good. Well, there's still time. How long is Leander out of town?
Especially if you get near that Puffco.
Why do I feel like I'm broadcasting with Fred Durst from Limp Bizkit? Lewis, you look like you stepped into a time machine hoping to go into the past, but the time machine malfunctioned. And instead of sending you into the past, it went to the past and grabbed your outfit and then put it on your body from today.
Yeah, what can I say, man?
I like the hat, man. You got the bill flat. I don't think I've ever seen it.
It's a fine brewery here in San Francisco. They're selling hats. I figured I would help them out and buy one.
Yeah, but I like that you're wearing it flat style. That's a very specific look. You didn't bother to bend it at all. I'm surprised you didn't have the foil sticker on the other side of the...
A what?
The foil sticker still on the other side.
It's so sunny here in my amazing solarium studio.
Yeah. You look like you just lived like 6 months as the kid from Big and then just sprang back into your old body.
I don't even know what that means. I cannot. I don't even want to try and parse that because I won't even be able to go on with the show. I just sit here and my eyes will roll back in my head and you'll be able to actually maybe even hear the little cogs grinding.
And what's up with that shirt?
Itty-bitty skull.
It looks like a medical alert shirt or something. What is that?
Yeah, I got it free with my medical alert.
Your medical alert badge?
This is a promo shirt from, remember that TV show House?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If you look, it's a caduceus.
Oh, okay. Is that what that's called? That little snake thing that goes up the rod?
Yeah, except in this case, the rod.
You got the
best
cane.
Words. It's a cane.
So is that symbol, that medical symbol, is called a caduceus?
Caduceus, yes,
I
sir.
did not know that. Wow, that's amazing.
That's why you get on the calls with us, right? So you can learn something.
I learn something from you all the time. You got the best words. Everyone knows that. Okay, guys. Well, welcome to everyone listening. Yeah, no Leander. All right, so Leander is gone. He is in Arizona. When is he coming back? Next week?
I believe he will be back, next week. That's, you never know. When somebody goes on vacation, sometimes things get extended, right? But, he should be back next week.
I love, with Leander, you never know he's going on vacation until he's like, oh, by the way, I'll be gone for the next 3 weeks. You're like, what?
Yeah,
where are you going?
He last Thursday. He's like, I think I forgot to mention it, but it is in the calendar. I'm like, oh, well, okay.
Well, it's not on my calendar. Yeah, he's
failed to check.
He's in Phoenix or somewhere in Arizona visiting some family, and I'm sure he's even squintier than he would normally be here in Seattle or here in San Francisco.
I don't know what the laws on oregano are in Arizona.
I think I think Buster told me that they're
Buster
pretty.
said it's okay. It's all
Yeah.
wide open now.
Yeah, well, it's been okay with Buster for a long time, but I think that legally speaking, he's on more firm legal footing now. And I think they just started opening. They just started opening pot shops. It's so weird, man, that pot is legal. It's legal in Seattle and Washington, and we have pot shops everywhere. You can just go in and they've got like menus full of stuff and all sorts of things I've never even heard of before. And you can just buy what you want. It's crazy. You can be as squinty as you want. All right. Well, we're not here to talk about narcotics because Leander's not here. So we got actual Apple stories here to talk about. Let me just run through these newts real fast. Apparently, we're supposed to have a March event. We'll talk about that. We should have mentioned this a couple weeks ago, but we'll talk about it today. And we're going to talk about iPhone 13, and we're also going to be talking about some iPhone updates, Touch ID coming back to the iPhone. Oh, please, please. How annoying is it to wearing a mask using Face ID? It's the worst thing ever. And I want to tell you about some interesting features coming to the Find My app and some security stuff that's built in so that people can't track you without you knowing with an Apple tag. Did you ever even consider that was a possibility? Apple did. What if someone wants to track you? Well, now Apple has some features that will let you know someone's tracking you with an unidentified device. This is a crazy story. And we'll wrap up with there's this bill in Arizona that has just passed the House that will allow developers to use their own payment methods inside their apps in the App Store, which Apple is fighting tooth and nail, as you can imagine, because it would allow people to basically not give Apple any money for the App Store. And if this bill actually gets passed, this will have worldwide ramifications. Because I don't think Apple is not going to maintain separate code bases for every single state, every single municipality. That doesn't make any sense. And it actually leads to a much broader story that we'll talk about. So before we dive in, let me give a very hearty thank you to Squarespace for supporting this episode. Squarespace.com/CultCast. Do you need a website? Do you still not have a website? I have 2 Squarespace websites. They're so easy to build. They're so easy to maintain that you'll actually do it. You could build a web store. You can sell physical products, digital products. You can have people schedule your time and pay you for your time. You can create an online paid community where people can pay a membership fee to have access to your website, hang out, intermingle, intermix, so on and so forth. You could build a blog. You could build a one-page impactful website that just showcases you and your skills. Everything is drag and drop, extremely easy to build and maintain. You can add your social media, build image galleries. Squarespace is great, and if you need a website, I always recommend people check it out because it's so easy to use, and your website will look beautiful on any device that visits. Head on over to squarespace.com/CultCast. Build a website. See how you like it. Take it for a spin. You got nothing to lose. You don't even have to give them your credit card information. And then at the end of the trial, if you want to continue your website, you can save 10% off your first purchase with code CultCast at checkout at squarespace.com/CultCast, and then use offer code CultCast at checkout to save 10%. And if you order a year service, which is what I do, you will get an additional discount and a free domain name, squarespace.com/CultCast. Okay. First things first, we got to talk about this. We got to talk about this potential for an Apple event this week, or not this week, this month, which I totally missed before. But apparently, we might be on track for an Apple event. And John Prosser tweeted out, I think mid-February, late in February, that he's heard that we're still on track for a March event. Have you heard anything about this, Lewis?
I think Prosser first predicted this back in December or something, March 16th. He put a date on it way back when. And yeah, that other thing saying AirTags, as far as he knows, still on. This, of course, was followed not too long after that by Gurman going, nope, ain't happening. So Gurman is firmly March 16th event, not happening. Prosser definitely happening. So there you go.
Let me see if I can go into browser mode here and see what happens. Dare I try it?
Oh
No,
God.
nothing. God, every freaking episode I forget to do this. So yes, John Prosser. So Mark Gurman did come in and say that it wasn't happening, but he was speaking specifically about March 16th. So people were talking about March 16th being the day, and Mark later clarified that he was only talking about that specific day. So there
So it
might
could be
still
the 23rd.
So it could be the 23rd. Isn't that just like Mark to do that too? Would that surprise you at all if it actually was like on March 23rd or something, and he was just basically disproving the 16th? And so if we do have an event, we don't really know what would be announced at the event, although Prosser seems pretty confident that AirTags are still on the agenda. And AirTags have been rumored forever. They've been delayed multiple times. And it seems like this might be a good time to finally make the announcement because, well, people are starting to travel a little bit more. People are getting the vaccines. Restrictions are being let up. You probably heard that Texas and I think Mississippi are fully open now. No masks even. How crazy is that? I mean, it's been a year. It seemed like it would never end, you know? So it seems like some states are starting to open up. And if people are going to be traveling, might be a good time to introduce AirTags and tell people about how they can track their stuff when they're actually going places and not just sitting at their houses,
Right.
you know?
I lost my phone I lost my wallet somewhere in my living room.
Right.
I'm convinced it's either the living room or the bathroom. I know it's in the house somewhere because I haven't left.
Yeah, it's most likely in the bathroom. Do you ever use your watch feature that will ping your phone?
Absolutely. I love that.
Dude, I use that all the time. I went to my friend's house, and he was actually getting annoyed with me because I kept using it. And I didn't even realize how often I use it, but he was like, dude, why does your phone keep making that sound? And I was like, well, I don't know where it is because I don't bother to track it. I just put it down somewhere, and then I ping it, and I go get it wherever I left it. I always leave it in the oddest places. And apparently that's not how he lives his life. He must keep it in his phone or in his pocket or something. Did you know that you can also ping your phone by asking your HomePod or another Apple device where your iPhone is?
Oh yeah.
You knew that. Okay. Well, for the
You can
listeners,
also make it flash a light, right? You know that.
you can make it flash
In case
light.
it's lost in the dark.
You're kidding.
No.
I did not know that. Is there anything else that you can do that I didn't know about?
Well, I'm sure there's a lot of other things you can do that you didn't know about. Just if you long press on that thing on your watch,
Yeah.
it'll start blinking the light. Very handy in dark situations.
I did not know that. Well, look at that.
Like, for instance, if you were in Texas in the middle of a blackout.
Yeah, right. Exactly. All right. Well, let's talk about iPhone improvements coming up. So we've got some iPhone stuff to talk about. And this first story I thought was actually kind of exciting. I don't hate the notch, but I really like the design of the Samsung phones where you just have a little hole punch and then the screen surrounds it. Some people really don't like that look. I kind of enjoy it. And let me see if I can hit browser mode here. Let's just see what happens. Fingers crossed. Oh, it worked. Okay.
Victory.
How's it looking, though? Oh, it looks fantastic. So we have a story this week that says Apple might get rid of the screen notch in the 2022 iPhone. So I guess this would be like the iPhone 14 or the 13 if they call the next iPhone the 12S. So on Monday, Ming-Chi Kuo, the only Apple analyst that gets anything right. Did you know, according to that website, Apple Track, that Ming-Chi Kuo is actually less accurate than John Prosser?
Yeah, well.
I find that a little suspect. I feel like on Apple Track, because it's the website everyone uses now, they need to add some kind of badge or something that shows how long the person has been making predictions. Because like if I come along and I get a couple right and I'm 2 for 2, now all of a sudden I'm
100%
yeah, now all of a sudden I'm more accurate than Gurman. That doesn't make any sense, right?
I predict Apple release an iPhone in 2021.
There you go. I predict not only are they going to do that, they're going to do one in 2022, 2023,
That is bold.
2024. So now I'm 3 for 3.
Where did you get
more
the
accurate,
crystal ball?
more accurate than. Well, I'm a big investor in Palantir, so they
Probably
sent
got
me one.
crystal balls, multiple.
Only one. The other one's just mere mortal flesh. All right, let's continue here. So, on Monday night, Ming Chi Kuo from TF International Securities, you know him, you love him. He said that the 2H22 iPhone models, which is the 2022 iPhone, at least the high-end models would abandon the notch design and adopt the punch hole display design. If production yields are good enough, all models may even support this new punch hole design. We have a story on Cultimac that Ed wrote, and he was saying that replacing the iPhone notch with the hole punch camera makes no sense. And I was like, dude, come on. Everyone loves that design. But the more I read his story, the more I thought, he doesn't make a bad point. And I guess the thing that seems pointless to me is, why would you go from a notch to a hole punch design? And then eventually what you want to do, and it seems like they might do this for 2023, is eliminating the holes entirely and having the tech placed behind the screen instead of as part of the screen. So it seems like a weird intermediate step to me. But I would imagine we're actually quite a ways out from having the cameras placed behind the screen with no notch cut out or no hole cut out, because they're not going to shoot through the screen. That kind of technology is probably not going to exist for a long time.
It's also that whole array. I mean, that was kind of Ed's main point, I think, was that the true depth camera system. It's not just one camera. It's all these different things, right?
Yeah.
There's like scatter point, whatever that thing's called.
The IR blaster, right?
Yeah, the thing that gives you all the dots.
Yeah.
So it's not just that one camera. So that was one of his main points. Is like, why would they do that, and why take a half measure, and how are you going to make it happen? And so I don't know, supposedly they're going to make the notch smaller this year. They keep saying, but I don't know. Eliminate entirely next year.
I would love it if they just removed it and went to. So let me bring up this image again, and just had a little camera notch or however many they need right across the top. I feel like that delivers a much more seamless, beautiful experience. And I'm no fan of the notch, so I'd much rather have that than the notch at the top.
The notch is so distinctive, though, and in a way, it becomes like a way to distinguish an Apple phone. But
yeah, but so was the click wheel, and they killed that without much fanfare, right? I mean, with zero fanfare, they just killed one of their best designs. Apple is kind of known for doing that. But okay, forget about a hole punch for the camera, right? That I feel like most people aren't going to care either way. Let's talk about features that actually make a difference, including having a bigger battery, Lewis.
Oh my, the thing everybody wants, right? This is actually from that same report from Ming Chi Kuo. Someday I'm gonna find out how to pronounce his name.
That actually sounded pretty close.
Yeah. So he dropped this giant report this week, and this is from the same thing, and he's saying, hey, this year's phones, and not sure exactly what they're gonna be called, 12S, 13, whatever. Supposedly 4 iOS handsets, same basic model breakdown, which means the Mini isn't dead. And they're going to have the same screen sizes, and they're going to have lightning ports and a bunch of other improvements. One of the main things that people might be excited about is that, this is quoting him, the new 2H21, that's his way of saying next, third quarter, whatever, iPhone models feature a larger battery capacity than the iPhone 12 series, thanks to the space-saving design of many components. Hence, that new model. Those models will also slightly heavier. Yeah, are also slightly heavier than the iPhone 12. Excuse me, there. I was trying to not say 2H21 again, and it's just very hard. It made my brain hurt trying to get it. Anyway, bigger batteries, slightly heavier. The other thing is that supposedly the notch is going to shrink, and that the screen is going to go to 120 hertz. Especially at least on the 2 high-end Pro models, and that's something people have been kind of clamoring for ages too, right? 120 hertz, and I actually heard that mentioned as one of the reasons why I need a bigger battery, because that's going to eat up more battery. So you might get a bigger, heavier phone, bigger battery, it might get the same battery life because they speed up the refresh.
Well, I would certainly welcome a bigger battery and better battery life. And I love this new Apple where they're building in practicality and not just looking for thinner, lighter, right? Like, I don't care if the phone's heavier. I don't care if the phone's thicker. If you give me much better battery life, that's something that everyone wants and everyone can use. But more than that, I think that we also might see the return of a optical in-screen Touch ID system. Now, this is something that we talked about a while ago, and we haven't heard about in a while, but let me pull up this story. I'll just pull up this one right here. Hats off to our brothers at Mac Rumors here. Check it out. Apple's iPhone 13 could feature optical in-display fingerprint sensor. This, in today's current climate, this is probably the most important feature that they could possibly add. More important than cameras, more important than anything else. Now, we know they've been working on this for a while. We've talked about this in-screen Touch ID feature for probably a year and a half, maybe longer. And to be able to just touch your phone and have it unlock with the freaking mask on would be the most glorious feature they could possibly add. I mean, how many times are you out and about, especially at the grocery store, and you have your grocery list on your phone, and you are constantly having to type your code in to unlock your phone because you have your mask on? It is so freaking annoying, and it takes seconds out of your whole day, which are seconds that I don't have to spare. So I really hope that this feature ends up coming to fruition. And this feature is according to Joanna Stern from the Wall Street Journal. And the Wall Street Journal, they're not playing around, okay? If anyone's gonna get it right, I think it would be them. Yes, Lewis.
Well, what about iOS 14.5? It's gonna unlock it with your Apple Watch.
Well, that would actually be a great workaround.
I mean, if you got an Apple Watch.
Now, does that feature actually work? Does it work in the beta?
I've heard it works great. I don't actually. I'm terrified of betas, but
wait a second. I'm running the beta.
14.5.
Yeah, can I turn this on?
Did you get the watch updated? You gotta be running.
Oh, wait a second.
Latest on the watch and the.
I haven't actually updated yet. I just went to software update and it showed it to me. Okay, I'm gonna install this, dude. That
I hear it works great.
Really? Okay. Why would they not introduce this earlier? It seems like such a natural thing. I mean, if you can unlock your Mac with your watch, why can't you unlock your phone with your watch?
I know. It seems like one of those things, like you hear that and you go, oh, why didn't I think of that? Why didn't they think of that? Like, why didn't that happen from day one, right?
Oh, man. Yeah, that would be, I mean, even aside from a mask, if you're wearing your watch, why can't you just have your iPhone unlocked whenever you're near your iPhone, right? It should just work that way, period. Regardless of if you're wearing a mask and Face ID isn't working. Like, they should have just added that as a feature. Well, I'm installing this right now.
I'm sure that part of it is like, oh, you're sitting at a bar, you got your phone sitting on the desk or on the table, and somebody picks it up and you got your watch on. I think there's some mechanism you have to do. Like, you have to look at the watch or it I think it sends you a message on your watch.
It buzzes your wrist and it tells you. It's just like what happens on your Mac.
You know all about it, but you haven't done it.
Which actually I never thought about before. I was always like, why does my watch need to tell me that I've unlocked my Mac? But that's why, because if you're in the room with your Mac and someone goes to unlock it when you're in the other room, it would work, I think. I don't know what the distance parameters are, and then you would know that someone was trying to hack into your data bits. Yeah. Putin is there trying to get your data.
I gotta say though, that feature is awesome when it works, but it's hit and miss for me. I still every now and then get the sorry, the wireless connection is not strong enough to allow this to happen. It's like, what? I mean, I'm totally baffled by that, and I'm not the only person. I've tried to get to the bottom of it several times, and typically what you always end up is like, oh well, if you reboot your Mac and your watch, it'll work great. It's like, yeah, the whole point of it is I want to do something on my Mac right now, not go through the process of rebooting everything in the I don't know. I find it annoying.
Dude, you need a new router. I literally never have that problem. It is bulletproof for me. It works every single time I try to use it. And
Ever
you're constantly having like Wi-Fi issues at your house. Your Mac is taking 18 seconds to load Twitter, dude.
It's really hard living in a digital. I'm not allowed to use the word ghetto anymore, am I? A digital
Underserved neighborhood.
backwoods digital area like San Francisco.
Well, I don't think that's it. I think you just need new routers, man. You need to get yourself Orbi or some
Give me a
kind of
discount.
super powerful Wi-Fi mesh system that will allow you to enjoy all your bits at full speed.
That's bunk, man. This happened at the Cult of Mac HQ as well.
Really?
Same thing. This is using an iMac. Probably like a 2015 iMac or something like that. But yeah, not consistently, but regularly enough that I am annoyed by it. I get the old not strong enough wireless connection.
Dude, you need to wipe your Mac and and put it into the into some kind of like hot fire, melt it down, and build yourself a new Mac.
That's even better than rebooting it. Melt it down.
You need to melt it down into one giant glob of silver alloy.
It's a different computer.
'Cause-
No, you never experienced that at all, huh?
No, mine works flawlessly.
All right then. Great. Happy for you.
Yeah. Although I'm thinking about selling it and upgrading to something new anyway.
I you know what it is? It's just my magnetic personality. It's causing everything.
There you go.
It makes
It's-
things go haywire.
You can't even be around a compass. It just spins, right?
Exactly. And when I spin, wow.
Hold on now. This leads into an interesting little side discussion here. And I wasn't sure if we should talk about this because I don't know if we'll have enough time, but I think that we should bring it up. So the M1 Macs are out for the Mac Mini and the MacBook Air, right? And they're on the way for the iMacs, we know, and for the MacBook Pro. Here's the thing. I have a top-of-the-line Intel MacBook Pro, 16-inch. I think the prices on these Macs, on the Intel Macs, are going to crater when the M1 Macs come out.
They already have cratered, man.
So I'm wondering if now's the time to sell. If you have a Mac,
Be too late.
nah, come on, not for the MacBook Pro. There's nothing better. I mean, if you wait until the M1 MacBook Pro comes out or the M1 iMac comes out, you're hosed, man. The prices on your current gear are going to absolutely crater. We saw some benchmarks out, was it this week or last week, about the M1X chip and the multi-core performance, and it literally is double the current performance of the Intel variety chips.
Just to be clear, there already is an M1 MacBook Pro.
Well, the 13-inch, yeah. But
okay.
that uses the less powerful M1. I'm talking about the M1X or
You
whatever,
mean with the next gen.
the next generation or whatever they include in their performance machines. That's what I'm talking about. So yeah, for the 13-inch MacBook Pro, you're probably already hosed.
I mean, I've read stories like that, and I haven't gone and checked, but everything I've read says, man, basically, it's the price, the bottom has dropped out of the resale value, and it's a shame because they used to be like Harleys, right? You buy one, you sell it for basically what you paid for it, or just a little less.
It hasn't been that way in a long time because Apple will continue selling the older model and drop the price, which screws you over as far as resale value goes.
Yeah, I mean, you never get the full thing back, but definitely a lot. I mean, to be honest, I've seen some. We've been selling some in the Cult of Mac Deals store.
Yeah,
I see some older ones on there for sale, and I'm just like, who in their right mind would buy one of those?
People that don't know.
Who would pay $500 for a 2015 MacBook?
Well, 2015, that was a great year for the MacBook. But I was thinking, can I get away with a MacBook Air, an M1? Or probably what I would do actually is just get a Mac Mini, dude. The Mac Mini M1s are going on sale all the time. You can get one for probably $600 now. And get one of those, use that for a while if you don't absolutely have to have a laptop, or get the MacBook Air M1 if you do. And then just wait. So sell off your higher end gear now, your iMac, your MacBook Pro. Sell those off now while the prices are still decent. And then wait for because what I really want kind of is the M1X variety iMac. I think that's probably what I'm going to go for because that thing is going to be an absolute beast. But I might go for the MacBook Pro the 16-inch with the M1X, whatever they end up calling that chip. But that machine is going to be probably not as fast as the iMac is. So for me, I might go for the power play there.
You probably don't have that long to wait for these things.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So now is the time. Now might be a good time just to sell. And
But then you got a Mac Mini that you got to get rid of.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I mean,
Oh,
how
you
much
just keep
time
them
do you want to
both.
spend? You're a wheeler dealer. See, that's the situation.
Well,
I'll do anything to avoid wheeling or dealing.
Well, the thing is, though, like, and this is no exaggeration, you might actually lose more than a Mac Mini in value on your MacBook Pro, your 16-inch MacBook Pro. So you might end up in a better position where you have a Mac Mini M1 and then also an iMac, and you would have made enough on your resale value from your MacBook Pro to actually pay for a significant portion of that, or at least to make it up
That
the
requires
lost
a lot
value.
of calculation, and I don't have time
Calculating.
to engage in.
Calculating. Yeah, so think about it. That's all I'm saying. If you have a MacBook Pro or an iMac, if there's any way that you can sell now is probably the time to do it. Because once those M1X machines are announced, you might as well just throw the machine away. Because no one's going to pay you anything for it. It's going to be absolutely worthless. Absolutely worthless. No one is going to want those Intel machines. Okay. Let's talk about iOS 14.5 Beta 3, Lewis. The Find My app getting some updates that we've talked about here in the past, and they finally have made their official appearance.
Yeah. So this was the thing that you had to like go through that weird URL hack to see, right? I mean, this has been visible in the betas for a while, but now it's there, front and center. If you download either the public betas for 14.5 for iPhone or iPad, excuse me, now there's a new items tab right there built into the Find My app, and it lets you track Beats headphones, luggage, and other third-party gadgets. Multiple people are adding this sort of feature now, working into the Apple ecosystem, which is awesome, actually, because that's a great app, and it's a great way to deal with stuff, and allowing the other people to put their items in there is going to be great. Tabs also expect to be home with the long-rumored AirTags trackers when they finally appear. And like we were saying earlier, that could be 2 weeks from now. Could be. Yeah. I guess the rest of this was what we already mentioned. Let's see. Beats headphones are definitely in there. Some upcoming
The
earbuds
Anker
from Belkin.
headphones too, right?
Huh?
Or the
Belkin?
Anker.
Belkin.
Yeah.
I don't know about the Anker.
I thought the Anker sound cool. The Anker sound cool, don't they?
Don't
Is it compatible?
remember.
Okay, I thought they were, but
more people are going to be adding this, right? I mean,
oh,
I
dude,
don't-
this is going to be huge. I mean, imagine being able to track all the things that you own all on your phone. You'll be able to ping them once they activate the ultra wideband aspect of the U1 chip, and you'll be able to like basically just be walked over to where your item is. It's going to be massively powerful. It will be almost impossible to lose anything ever again. It's going to be
Except
built
your
into
mind.
all your Apple stuff.
no
Well, except for
problem
that,
losing your
which
mind. Very simple to lose
Leander's
your mind still.
he sent an email to Tim Cook to see if he could have the U1 installed in his brain, and they said, well, you got to do an MRI first. And so he did. He got one. They said, "Sir, there's something wrong with the machine. There's like literally nothing left in there." And so they did it again. The same test results came back, and Tim Cook said, "Yeah, sorry, y'all, not much there to anchor to.
Oh my! I hope he never listens to the podcast.
There's nothing there to attach the chip to."
Jeez.
Leander, listening to the podcast, you got nothing to worry about. I don't know if he's ever actually, besides participating in the episode, I don't know if he's actually ever listened to it. Thank goodness for that. Yeah, it's going to be very, very cool technology once they get this turned on. But, okay, so working this all together, right? Let me bake you a wonderful pie and serve it to you here. I'm going to put in all the ingredients here and give you all the little tidbits, all the tasty tidbits.
Food talk today.
Yeah. Oh, man, now I really want pie.
Just getting hungrier and hungrier.
Oh man, my I have a relative on my wife's side of the family. She makes absolutely legendary pies. Legendary pies, like restaurant quality, the best pie you've ever had.
What type?
So the one that she makes the most that I love is banana cream. Have you had a banana cream pie? Oh, dude,
Not for years.
it's
Maybe
so good.
a decade. Oh
She
my
makes great
God.
apple pies. My
Apple
personal,
pies.
yeah,
So
my
there is an
personal.
apple angle.
Oh
Thank
yeah, well in
God. Thank God.
Washington you got to do apple pies because we're like the apple capital of the world.
How about pecan?
I think she has made a pecan, but it's been a long time. I love pecan pie. I never had a pie that I didn't like. And then my personal favorite is cherry pie. Didn't wasn't there a song about pie? I forget the name of it. Anyway, never
Only
mind.
one.
I think there's several praising the
Bye
pie.
bye.
Oh right, yeah,
That's an American pie. So have
Yeah.
you ever had a grape pie? Just a real quick thing.
Yeah.
Doesn't that sound weird? Grape pie?
no, I didn't even
People
know
in my
that
family make
a
it.
monstrosity such
It's
as
true.
that even existed.
It can happen.
It sounds gross, to be honest with you. Grapes,
Why?
because grapes are
It's just
too juicy to be in a pie. You need something. You need things that are kind of dry to be in a pie.
You just boil them down a little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, it's
and then they're all
also,
slimy.
you know what else they got in there?
Yeah,
Bunch of sugar, right? So, I mean, yeah, there's no problem. It's not like cherries are not juicy.
dude, cherries are way drier than a grape. A grape is like the fruit that you think about when you think about juicy. Maybe that and an orange, or like maybe the only thing that's juicier than a grape is a watermelon.
Yeah, no, that is. Yeah, and I don't think I have heard of watermelon pie, but you know what? Somebody's going to send us a link. There's going to,
Ugh, it's
here's
because
my
it would completely.
grandma's watermelon pie recipe. Yeah.
It's because it would just break down into like some kind of weird paste. Be so gross.
Paste pie. Mm-mm.
That sounds like something that they eat in England. I guarantee you they got a paste pie in England. Why is the food there so weird? I don't know. All right, sorry guys. Sorry to all the govs
That was quite a tangent.
who are listening. Oh, peach pie. Ooh, shoot. Oh man, peach pie. Don't even get me started. Slap your mama. That's how good that is. I'll slap her to get it. She's on peach pie. I'll just slap your mama. I'll take that pie. And she'll be like, "Why'd you slap me?" You had the pie. What was I supposed to do? I'm not gonna share it. Okay, so you already talked about this tab going into Find My, and oh yeah, the pie talk. I'm putting it all together. Okay, so
Pie tour, detour.
I took a pie tour.
Yeah.
So we have this stuff going into iOS 14.5, right? We have the potential March event coming with the actual AirTags, and AirTags clearly going to be something that you can use in the Find My app to find your stuff. You can attach these to other items. Check out this story. Can I bring this up? This is a wild story. It's something that I didn't even consider, but is something that clearly Apple has thought about. iOS 14.5 Beta 3 includes item safety feature for AirTags and other tracked items to help prevent stalking. Check this out. Okay. The new toggle was highlighted by, I hate to even say this word, the 9to5Mac contributor, Benjamin Mayo. Sorry about that. Who explains that with the feature toggled on, your iPhone will notice that someone has placed an AirTag or other Find My compatible item tracker in your possession and prevent your location from being shared. If you attempt to turn the toggle off, the Find My app warns you that by doing so, the owner of an unknown item will be able to see your location. The prompt states that with the toggle off, your iPhone will no longer send you notifications if an unknown item is found to be moving with you. How crazy is that? So this is something that I certainly never thought about, even though I have many fans and probably several stalkers. But they're so good, I never actually see them, and they never actually reach out to me. But the Find My app is going to, will allow someone to put like an AirTag in your car or on your person or in your bag. This is like, isn't there a movie called Enemy of the State with Will Smith? And do you know what movie I'm talking about, Lewis? It was a great movie.
Sounds familiar.
Eugene Hackman.
Gene
Hackman? Yeah.
Yeah, well, the tracker, that's like classic, right? I mean, they slip it on your car, they do this, they do that. Yeah, and it's honestly like I never thought of that either, and why I can't believe it never crossed my mind, but, and it made me wonder, does Tile have a similar feature? Or could people use Tile tags to track people?
I don't know if they have that technology, but I just thought this was really interesting. So Apple will be able to tell if there is a foreign object that's basically with you at all times, and will eventually tell you like, hey, there's something here that is going with you everywhere that you go that isn't your item, which tells you that you're being tracked by someone else's device. Now, someone here in the Mac Rumors story was saying that's real cool. Unfortunately, that means if you put a tracker on your own backpack, when someone steals it, it will warn them that they're being tracked, which is actually a great point. So if they steal your car,
Oh man!
it will tell their iPhone that they're being tracked.
I wonder if now so they got to take it to the next level, right? They got to make it so that when
But how would Apple know?
something's stolen, you report that it's stolen, and then it disables that fee. But then
Okay,
somebody could.
you're right.
Somebody
That's what they need to do.
But somebody could report their own thing stolen and then put it in your. It's never ending. It's
Yeah,
a
but
loop.
if they reported stolen, they still would be able to track it. Yeah,
Right.
you're right. Okay. That is interesting though. That it sounds like a cool feature until you're like, oh yeah. So when the
think
guy
about
steals
it.
your backpack with your MacBook Pro, it's like this MacBook Pro is being tracked. Actually, maybe that would be a good thing. They'll be like, oh shoot, and they'll
I gotta get rid of
they'll
this.
ditch it. Yeah. So that
Yeah.
actually might work to their favor, right? So I just thought that was a crazy story. The privacy features, the safety features that Apple is thinking about and building into this new technology. Okay, let's see here. I want to talk about this Arizona bill story real fast, but let me just plug, if I may. If you would like even more CultCast content, you may not have heard, we have an all-new way to support the show, and also you get 2 to 3 episodes a week. I'm trending towards 2 right now. We're going to bump it back up to 3 episodes a week. It's called CultCast Off Topic. It is a show in the same vein of CultCast, except we talk about a variety of other stuff. Like we talk about Nintendo Switch, we talk about video games, we talk about crypto. We've been talking a lot about crypto. I don't even want to look at the stock market right now. Oh my gosh. Should I even take a look real quick? I think it was at 122 today. Oh! It's at 120. Tesla's down to 621. Anyway, we talk about our investment strategies, our investments, and if you want to get even more CultCast content. So we do a video. Every episode is video, so you can watch it. And then also you get a all-new RSS feed that you can input into any of your favorite podcast players, the podcast app, Spotify, which is actually starting to overtake Apple. How crazy is that? Actually, not that crazy because Spotify actually cares about podcasts. And you will get the audio episodes every single week as well. So 2 to 3 new audio episodes a week, $6 a month, $6 a month for all of that great content. I think it's a great deal, and we have a lot of fun. We're having a ton of fun. So if that interests you, if that titillates you, head on over to support.thecultcast.com, support.thecultcast.com. We have some other tiers where if you spend a little bit more money per month, you get access to some other stuff, including the Gadget Garage, which is basically a gear giveaway every month, and I'm giving away all sorts of good stuff.
What have you been giving away?
I've given away routers.
Wow.
I've been giving because it's stuff that I've reviewed that I'm no longer using.
Maybe I should sign up.
You
I
might
can get myself some new Wi-Fi.
I've been giving away iPhone cases. So I've been giving away bumper cases, some really nice leather cases. It's nice stuff. I mean, honestly, it's a hell of a deal because your chances of actually getting something are pretty high. And the stuff that you get is, a lot of it is pretty valuable. Like if you get a router or you get a nice iPhone case, it basically pays for what you have been paying on a monthly basis, sometimes for the whole year or longer. So if that interests you, support.thecultcast.com, support.thecultcast.com. I will also mention, if you wanted a Might Tee, I released some more designs at cultcloth.co. These are the t-shirts that started it all. These are the ones that Cultimac covered and the ones that connected me and Leander. I found a whole box of them. And look at this. Check this out.
We see all the boxes of stuff, yeah.
Check this out. I found a box of original Might Tees packaging. So check out this beautiful package. These are screen printed. And if you take a look at the top there, you can see there's all these like little cool glyphs.
Coronavirus.
There's the coronavirus on there. There's a lightsaber. There's some spaceship. These are what the Might Tees used to ship in, and I found some more of these. So for the people that order, you'll probably get one of these. I don't have very many left, so you may not. But whoever orders may end up getting their Might Tee in an original Might Tees package. These are extremely rare. Extremely rare. And there's a limited supply left. CultCast.co for those.
What you need is one of those like those big claw crane things like they have in the arcade games, and so people can just remotely operate it, and they can just drop that claw crane into that pile of stuff back there and pick out the thing that they want.
I could do that on. We could stream it live. There'll be like IP controlled claw crane.
I love it.
Dude, that might not be a bad idea. I've got so much crap back there. There's some good stuff too. All right, let's see here. Let's talk about this Arizona bill, which is totally crazy. And if it passes, is going to change the App Store in a major way. So I'm just going to hop into this story here. Arizona advances a bill that will let developers skirt Apple's in-app purchase rules. Now, a lot of people are not talking about this. North Dakota had a similar bill. And I'm surprised that more people aren't discussing this because this could radically change the App Store and the way you interact with Apple in big ways. And Apple is fighting this tooth and nail. They are lobbying hard to destroy these bills. Because here's the thing. If one state decides to pass something like this, it's going to affect Apple everywhere. Apple's not going to maintain a separate code base for every single state. So if just one state passes something like this, then Apple will probably have to make broad sweeping changes across their entire platform. And this could be a pro or a con. I mean, in some ways, well, I'm about to get on a tangent. Let me just read the story. The Arizona House of Representatives passed HB 2005, a state bill that would provide developers with an alternative to Google and Apple's in-app purchase options by allowing developers to use their own payment solutions within apps. Last week, the Arizona House Committee advanced the bill, and now it has been approved by the House of Representatives. It will be heard next by the Arizona Senate. You can see here we have CNBC reporting on this. Apple and Google have been lobbying aggressively against the bill for weeks now because it would let developers use third-party payment options to avoid the 15 to 30% cut that Apple takes from app purchases and in-app payments. In a hearing last week, Apple Chief Compliance Officer Kyle Andier called HB 2005 a quote, government mandate that Apple give away the App Store. Quote, this would allow billion-dollar developers to take all the value of take all of the App Store's value for free, even if they're selling digital goods, even if they're making millions or billions of dollars doing it. The bill is a government mandate that Apple give away the App Store. Apple last month successfully fought back a similar bill in North Dakota, which would have paved the way for third-party App Store options. This is the interesting part. Like the North Dakota bill, the Arizona bill was backed by the Coalition for App Fairness, a group that includes companies like Epic Games, who is suing Apple, Spotify, Basecamp, Tile, all of whom have had significant issues with Apple's App Store rules. There's a similar bill in Minnesota that Apple is also battling against. This is major news. So Apple's battling this bill in Arizona. They've battled it in North Dakota. Now they're battling it in Minnesota. The public perception is churning on Apple in this regard. People are tired of Apple having the App Store be completely locked down, and Apple is in a weird position because they own the store. It's not a monopoly. You can go to Google if you want. But here's the thing. They are a duopoly. And the reason I say that is because you either go to Apple or you go to Google, or you don't have an app. And if you don't have an app, you cannot be a legitimate business and have or be a popular business, right? You don't have access to the notification systems. I mean, there's things that are tied into an app that you wouldn't have if you just did a web app. And so if you are not found or deemed worthy to be in the Google Store or the App Store, then what are you supposed to do? You don't get to be a legitimate business. And I think all that power is causing people to be frustrated with Apple and with Google. And it seems like people are pressuring Apple whatever way they can to start being more lenient in their App Store rules. And this is just another example of that. I don't know what would happen if one of these bills passed. Like, clearly you can't use the App Store and not pay Apple for it. How is Apple going to make money, right? The App Store couldn't exist if that happened. But I also think that the App Store is too strict. And at the very least, Apple should say, okay, well, if you don't qualify for the App Store, we're going to allow people to load your app. You could sideload your app in some other way, but Apple doesn't do that either. So they force you to use the App Store, but if they don't deem you to be worthy to use the App Store, then you just don't get to have an app on the iPhone, which I think is totally crazy. Louis, your thoughts?
Well, you keep talking about people feeling this way and public perception. I don't know that the public spends any time thinking about this. I mean, developers do. I don't know. I mean, Apple ostensibly provides a service, right? By making sure that these apps aren't bad, that there's no malware, and there's a feeling of comfort, right? That, oh, this stuff is screened and it's good, and
Yep.
I don't have to worry about anything. So, yeah, they've already taken steps to give developers, small developers, a cut, right? To take a lesser cut. Let's put it that way, of their stuff. So I don't know, man. I mean, it costs money to run the App Store, so they need to make money off of it somehow. They don't make money if you just download a free app.
I mean, they could work in some kind of mechanism where, and actually eBay has been working on this exact problem, because eBay was currently or previously only compatible with PayPal for years and years and years and years, right? But now they're working PayPal out of their system and implementing their own payment system because they want to take more of a cut, when you buy something, right? Well, they still allow you to use other payment systems, but they fine you for that, essentially. So I think, if I remember correctly, if you don't want to use eBay's payment system, they will let you use another system, but they charge you 2%. So they basically are fining you for using some other kind of payment system. Now, for Apple, it's a different story because they make all of their money through the payment processing, and eBay has other ways of making money. So maybe they could work out some kind of deal where if you were using your own payment system, they would not feature you in the app stores prominently, or there'd be a section for you, or they charge you a smaller fee, but they'd still charge you a fee to be present in the app store instead of, paying or charging you every time a sale is made. There's probably some other kind of arrangement they can make. But the other big thing is, I think that we need to have a way to sideload apps. I think it's ridiculous that Apple's App Store is most people's portal to the internet. Apps are the way people use the internet now. So in a way, Apple is able to control what people use on the internet. And they force everyone to use the App Store, which I think is fair. Well, let me back up. Which they want to make a profit off of, which I think is fair, right? But if you don't want to use the App Store, there should be another option for you so that you don't have to pay Apple. Or you have an option to put an app on the phone if Apple deems you not worthy to be in the App Store, which they do for a variety of reasons. I think sometimes the reasons are somewhat arcane, like they're hard to understand. And they have ultimate say on whether or not you get into the App Store, which I think is unfair. Like, why should they be able to be the only ones who determine who's on the internet and who's not? It would be like if you were buying a domain name and your registrar said, well, we don't like your business model. We're not going to sell you a domain name, so you don't get to be on the internet. That's essentially the same thing. And it just seems unfair to me. I know not everyone agrees with me, but I would love to see this pressure Apple to allow you to sideload apps like you can in the Android ecosystem. And then they can just wipe their hands of it. They'll be like, okay, you go do whatever you want. If you want to create your app and not be part of the App Store, that's fine. But I think it's a little bit too much of a power play to say you have to be in the App Store unless we don't want you there, in which case you don't get to have an app at all.
Do you think they'll ever do that, though? I mean, that's like one of the great appeals of the whole iOS ecosystem, right?
I don't think that's an
trust that
appeal.
This is okay.
But you still can do
Here's
that.
where everything is.
I mean, the only reason in my judgment, the only reason Apple only allows apps to the App Store is not for quality purposes, dude. It's for money. They don't want developers to create an app that they can't profit off of, because in the Mac ecosystem, they have the Mac App Store, and then they have just apps, and you can install apps on your Mac, and Apple makes no money off that. It should work the exact same way on the iPhone. If you want to be a authorized app and give everyone the warm and fuzzies that you've had Apple stamp of approval, you use the App Store, and most people probably will. But if you don't care about that, if you have an app that maybe isn't as wholesome as Tim Cook would like and doesn't have a place in the App Store, maybe Apple won't even let you into the App Store. You should still have a way to make it onto people's iPhones without having to do the stupid, I hate the web app argument. Don't come at me and talk about web apps. Web apps are garbage, especially on mobile. A web app is not an app. It is a janky, third-rate user experience that everybody hates. So
Wow.
if you don't have an app, you're not a real company when it comes to the internet. You have to have an app. Otherwise, normal people are not going to take you seriously, and they're not going to use your service, right? So it just seems like too much power for one company to wield to control who gets to be on the internet and who does not. And I know you're saying, oh, but they're not controlling who gets to be on the internet. But I go back to my original point. Apps are the internet now. That's how everyone accesses the internet on mobile, and everyone is accessing the internet via mobile. Okay. Serious questions for you guys, though. That's what Xavier says. But I don't see your question. He says the App Store would churn into Apple Arcade for those who follow their guidelines. I don't know if you're talking to me or to somebody else. Xavier, I apologize. I should have prepared for that question. There's a lot of chat going on here.
It's hard to do 5 things at once.
5? I wish it were just 5, Lewis.
Yeah, I know you've also got a sub-process back in the back of your mind trying to figure out how to set up a claw crane that you can remotely control over the internet using a web app, because Apple will never let it in the store.
They're not going to let that into the App Store, yeah. The real-life claw crane where you can just pick stuff out of the Cult Command Center. I think that's it. Is that everything? Lewis, we did it.
We made it through without Leander's steadying hand. I'm surprised we actually made it through.
And I can tell from your face that you're ready to go because you haven't eaten lunch yet, have you?
It's 1:15. How did it get to be 1:15? Did I get abducted by aliens?
Oh, maybe the same time machine that brought your clothing from the past back. Moved you into
You and your hate, Mr. Winner, chicken dinner.
I
Which,
apologize.
by the way, also makes me even more hungry. Pies, shirts that reference chicken dinners. I mean, what's next?
We
You gonna
talked about lemon meringue pie,
Oh, man.
banana cream pie. I'm hungry too. Let's go ahead and wrap it up there. That's all the CultCast we have for you guys this week. But if you want to come tell us your opinions on the App Store, tell me that I'm wrong. I'm sure many of you agree. We're all on Twitter. I'm at AirFon, ERFWin. Almost at Leander, but he's not here. Lewis is at Lewis Wallace. If you want to follow Leander, at L. Caney, he's probably posting pictures of his Phoenix adventures.
Get on there and ask him a bunch of questions about this week's episode.
There
Stump
you go.
him.
Won't be hard. All right. That's all the CultCast we have for you guys this week. I already said that. This has been the CultCast, the best 30-plus minute album conversation you're going to hear all week long. New episodes of the CultCast come out every Thursday night. I want to thank everyone for listening. This is Airphone Elijah and Fred Durst signing off. And we'll see you guys next time. I think you look great, Lewis.
My COVID haircut's wearing off again. I got a serious situation with the hair once again.
And shoot, you know, if Limp Bizkit decides they need a new lead singer, you're ready to roll, dude. You show up there. I did it all for the boogie.
Okay.
What?
Got to get a wallet chain, right? Or is it a chain wallet?
And what are those baggy pants called? Like Jean Co pants?
Got me.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. All right. We're really going now, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Catch you guys next time.